You guys freaking out? You're nervous? You don't really want to give a speech? Most people don't like giving speeches, and don't get me wrong, I hate giving speeches. They're my least favorite thing to do for school. But the hardest part for me isn't getting up and talking to people. It's pretty easy for me. The hardest part is doing the research, finding my material, and organizing everything in a way that I can present to you and you guys follow and understand what I'm talking about. When you do a speech, you don't really want to pick just a random topic. You want to do something you already know a little bit about, and that way it makes the research process a little bit easier. I'm currently doing a research paper in another class, in my history class. We had to do a research paper. It's just typical paper, outline, bibliography, works cited, all that fun stuff. And I just had to do my paper on Andrew Carnegie, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. Obviously, Andrew Carnegie did too much stuff in his lifetime to talk about everything, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about his early life and family and how his company influenced the American society. A little bit about Andrew. He wasn't born in America. He was born in Scotland, and he came to America when he was about 12 years old in 1848. They didn't come for just a family vacation, do some sightseeing. It wasn't a fun trip. They had to flee their home country because his father couldn't find any work. And according to Les Staniford's book, Meet You in Hell, in wake of the Great Potato Famine, it affected all aspects of life in Europe, and Andrew's father was just a master weaver. He had nothing to do with the farming industry, potatoes, nothing to do with it at all. And that just shows how hard it was to find work in Europe. Once they came to America, they settled just outside of Pittsburgh with his aunt, and Pittsburgh seemed to be a pretty promising city for the Carnegies. Pittsburgh had a ton of opportunities for work. Textile mills, tanneries, factories, you name it, Pittsburgh had it. So once they got settled, Andrew's father found work pretty easily, and once Andrew got a couple years older, he also found jobs easy to come by. Andrew possessed a unique and wide variety of skills. One in particular is that he could translate the clicks and clacks of Morse code directly into text or speech. He found jobs as a delivery boy, clerk, worked in mills, and even telegraph companies. He did just about anything. After a while, Andrew started making a name for himself in the business industry, especially in the steel industry. He later founded the Carnegie Steel Company, and that took over and controlled the steel industry forever. He had factories all over the country, and if you read Charles Morris's book, The Tycoons, he describes the factories as they were always the biggest, most automated, most focused on pushing prices down and increasing the production rate. Andrew ended up being one of the richest men in the world. His companies had a lot of benefits to society. One in particular is that he provided thousands of jobs to many Americans. One specific example is his Homestead factory. When they built the company, or the factory, they only had about 600 residents in the surrounding city. A couple years later, the factory started being successful. It brought in so many new jobs that the residential population rose to 8,000. Other than just provide jobs, Carnegie's business also helped build libraries and schools all over the world. One of the most famous ones is his Carnegie Research Institution in Washington, D.C., and the Carnegie Educational Foundation in New York. Carnegie was also very generous when it came to donations. He was quoted on numerous times from one of his assistants that he donated over $300 million to organizations that helped strive for international peace. Carnegie was not just a businessman. He cared a lot about the community and society and did whatever he could to give back. He didn't want to end up like his parents, where they were working long and strenuous hours in dangerous factories for terrible pay. Andrew changed his life around, and in that he became one of the richest men in the world, and his company still affects industries today. I just want to acknowledge my sources one more time. Les Staniford's book, Meet You in Hell, and Charles Morris's book, The Tycoons, helped me fund a lot of my research on Andrew Carnegie.